We have Kevin Waudby talking about Kiva.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I want to talk to you today about 2010. 2010 was a really, really special year for me. In 2010, I became a dragon. And by that I mean I began investing in early-stage startups in the developing world. In 2010, I became a philanthropist, and a philanthropist with a big P. I never thought I'd be able to afford that. I thought philanthropy was only for rich people. In 2010, I actually became a bank. But I wasn't just lending money, I was actually lending hope and opportunity to entrepreneurs with the wit, the ambition, the sheer determination to work their own way out of poverty. In 2010, I became a Kiva lender. My first loan was to a lady called Manawar. That's Manawar. Manawar lives in Pakistan, in a town in Pakistan. And in 2010, she lost her husband. So she was facing a really uncertain future. What she needed was some money to help her sons develop and grow their electrical repair business. So she turned to Kiva. I loaned Manawar $25. But $25 wasn't actually enough. What Manawar needed was $1,250. So I was joined by some great people. This is Jay. Jay lives in Florida. This is Mel and Andy and her family, and they live in Canada. This is Philip. Philip lives in Taiwan. And this is Ilka, and Ilka lives in Finland. And I was joined by about 38 other people, all of whom lent to Manawar so that Manawar could invest in her son's business. And the great thing was that 13 months later, Manawar and her sons paid us all back. So we got to reinvest our $25. Can you start the video? Kiva is a really, really big idea. It started in 2005, and since then it has loaned over $318 million. And as you can see from this, that's over 400 unique relationships. This video I'm going to show you, and it might be quite distracting, so I hope not, but each dot in this video represents part of a loan share that goes to a Kiva borrower, and then the payment that comes back. So this is just going to play in the background to give you a visual sense of the scale of Kiva's achievement. So those are the loans coming back. Those are the repayments of the first loans made in Kiva in 2005. Kiva, and lots of people have talked about simplicity today. Kiva is a really, really simple idea. So all you do is you visit the website, you choose which entrepreneur you want to give money to, and you can choose across the world. 60 countries are represented on Kiva. And you can choose also industries, so agriculture, retail, that sort of thing. And you choose how much you can invest, and that's it. And then Kiva work with the microfinance organizations who listed the entrepreneur that you want to support in order to ensure that your money goes directly to the entrepreneur that you want to support. And the great thing is, and I've already said this, you get your money back. You get to reinvest your $25 or whatever it is you invested. So why do I wish I'd thought of Kiva, apart from the obvious impact? I've already said it, it's a really, really simple idea. The best ideas are really simple. Kiva, despite its simplicity, is a really big idea. And I think the sector, we need really big ideas. We need business model innovation in order to really shift giving. And Kiva did that. I think what Kiva also does is speak to a lot of the expectations and needs that donors increasingly have. So donors increasingly want to know where their money goes. You get transparency with Kiva, you know exactly where your money's going. You get choice. Not everybody wants it, some people do. With Kiva, you get to choose. You get impact. So I know exactly where my money went. I know it impacted Manawar. I know Manawar's future is more secure. And it's person to person. We all know that people give to people. With Kiva, you know exactly where your money's going and who's receiving it. With Kiva, loyalty is built in. We all know that engagement is a real struggle sometimes, but you get your money back with Kiva. You've got to go back because you've got to reinvest it. It's fantastic. Kiva is fantastic as well at creating community. So if you've been on Kiva, you'll have seen the different communities that are growing up. So at the moment, the atheists are out loaning the Christians, but only because there are more atheists than Christians. The Christians are on average giving more individually. Kiva is truly a digital-first organisation. It started on the web, it's stayed on the web, it's really straightforward. Kiva is now in 220 countries, i.e. there are people who've lent to Kiva represent 220 countries. Kiva is also a very lean organisation, so 80 staff administered over $90 million worth of loans in 2011. So that's quite impressive. And I think imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I think Kiva has inspired a lot of imitation. So I know for a fact that CR UK is my project site, which enables donors to give directly to the cancer that they've been affected by, was inspired by Kiva, as was CARE's lendwithcare.org. So you might think it's such a different business model that you've got nothing to learn from it. Well, I disagree. So what could you do to introduce transparency, choice, and demonstrate impact in the fundraising asks that you make? What can you do to create an exceptional supporter experience and loyalty? What can you do to create the sorts of community that Kiva has been able to create? Whatever you do, I suggest you keep it simple, you make it bold. And that's Kiva.